What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Friday, people. It's been a good week. It's been a good week for Arsenal. One more road to cross. If you're a DMX fan, you're right there with me. But listen, one more road to cross this week, not overall. Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, Super Sunday. Another very big game, people, that we need to win. I'm calling it a must win. I was speaking to somebody yesterday. They go, "No, I don't mind if we draw at Chelsea. It's not a bad result." I said, "No, not for me, bro. We need to go and beat Chelsea at the Bridge, um, and send out a statement. You know, we beat Bayern Munich. I think Bayern Munich are better than Chelsea, but Chelsea at the Bridge might be a more difficult game because it's away from home." So, yeah, listen, a lot to talk about, people. Big up to everybody locked in, and a reminder. We are doing the 100k stream today at 6 o'clock, people. 6 o'clock, we will be doing the 100k stream. And we'll give away that Eze shirt finally, because by the time I give that shirt away, it will be next season. And, so yeah, we better get that sorted. So 100k stream today. I haven't really planned anything. We're just going to vibe, chat, might look over some old streams, some meltdowns, give away the shirt, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying, people? Light work. So yeah, big up to everyone. Triple ad at the start of the stream. Yeah, that's nasty work, man. I can't lie. They can't be doing that. They can't be doing that. The intro is coming back, people. It is coming back. I'm hoping to get it back for Sunday, for the watch along. But yeah, just got from a warehouse job on Black Friday. Big C goes live. The second I come home, life is good. What a Friday. You've finished the shift. You're back at home. And we're live. And we're going live at 6 o'clock for a 100k stream as well. Do you know what, man? I should have actually planned more things around the 100k stream. I could have done more, but yeah, I realized today, like, oh man, I could have got this. I could have got somebody, like, a shout out from someone. I could have, but we're just gonna vibe anyway. And the main thing is to give away the shirt and things like that. Did you see the Kimmich comments? Yeah, I mean, I don't care. He said PSG were better and we were so direct and blah blah blah. Who really cares? I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. It's like getting beat up in a fight and saying, "No, it was a lucky punch." Like, you still lost, bro. I don't care. What I do want Arsenal to do, though, is take from the fact we beat PSG last season in the group stage, and when it came to the crunch, we didn't get the better of them. But yeah, man, he's probably not used to it because he's been at Bayern for so long. He's been there when they've been doing us 5-1. So he probably looks at Arsenal as, that's light work. And we've turned up as a new team. You know what I mean? We ran all over them in the second half. And I think he's hating a little bit. But it is what it is. I felt he should have been a bit more respectful and said, look, they performed very well and they won the game and took it like that. But he was very salty. Big up I Love, who said, new member, big up your damn self. Dishwasher deals, man. Yeah, do I get a dishwasher? Do you know what? Like I said, man, somebody has messaged me saying they'll sponsor me and sort one out. But yeah. Did you hear Run This Town playing in the tunnel after the game? I didn't even hear that. Because obviously I have the volume turned down quite low so that you can't pick it up. I didn't hear it. I love that. I love that. We're riding a wave at the moment, Arsenal, as Arsenal fans. We just got to make sure that we get to where we need to get to, people. And for me, that is winning a Premier League or a Champions League. And maybe I look at the FA Cup and Carabao Cup as an addition. It's like going to the restaurant, that's just a little, the side dish. But on the main, I need to see a Champions League or a Prem, maybe with a little, a little Carabao Cup there or something. Big up to Dan. I mean, we spoke about it yesterday in detail. I actually think Arsenal should go all out for the Carabao Cup because I think Arsenal winning a trophy in March would springboard us to go and win the Premier League or maybe the Champions League. I always feel much more confident saying the Premier League because we've done it before. When I say the Champions League, I think, well, we haven't won it before. But like people were saying yesterday, PSG had never won the Champions League until last season. Manchester City had never won the Champions League till a couple of seasons ago. So I shouldn't be fearful of saying Arsenal can win the Champions League, because I think at the moment we are probably the best team in Europe. The stats would say that. We're top of the Champions League group, we're top of the Prem. The problem is, and where I try not to get carried away, being the best in form doesn't mean you're the best overall. PSG are still sitting there with a Champions League in their trophy cabinet. Liverpool are still sitting there with the Premier League from last season in their trophy cabinet. It's not about how you're doing, it's about how you finish up. Arsenal need to turn that form into success. But things are looking good. But I think just, enjoy what's happening. But let's make sure that Odegaard is lifting silverware this season, maybe more than once. But big up to everyone in the comments. Yeah, we need that star. We need that star above the badge. I think Sunday's game is absolutely massive, honestly. I think it's massive. I think at the start of the season, people wouldn't have looked at the Chelsea game as, oh, this is the biggest game. But I think where we are now, I think this game is huge, and I think it's a tough game as well. By the way, like I don't think this will be easy work. So yeah, we will see, people. We will see, but I'm looking forward to it. Right, couple of things to talk about before we get into waffle settings and this, that, the other. Arteta spoke about yesterday's game. Arsenal played a behind closed doors friendly against Manchester United yesterday at the training ground. Arteta confirmed Gabriel Jesus and Ethan Nwaneri played in the game. He said Nwaneri asked for minutes, which I thought was interesting. Clearly, as I keep saying, this whole he's only young thing does not necessarily always count. People will get frustrated, and once you've done something, you want to continue to do it. So interesting that Nwaneri asked for minutes. So Ethan Nwaneri featured and Gabriel Jesus. No mention around whether Gyokeres or Havertz played. He was very coy on that. We will get into it in press conference reaction. He sort of said they could be available this weekend, but didn't really go into any detail, which made me think, well, if Gyokeres was close to availability, would he have played in that game yesterday? You would think so, but we will see with that. But Jesus definitely played in that game. Will Jesus... Yeah, sorry, by the way, everyone. It was at Watford, which is next door to Arsenal's training ground. They played it at a neutral venue. So, yeah, it was at Watford. But good to see Jesus back on the pitch. Mr. Cheekbones. Look at those cheekbones, people. But is he going to contribute, or are we going to move him on in January? Grok says that Gyokeres played and scored. Well, I've been looking, actually. I was looking to see if there was any details of the fixture. I haven't found anything out. I actually could have messaged the guy who I speak to and tried to get some info, but yeah, I haven't been able to find out anything in terms of the scoreline or whether Gyokeres or Havertz played. Yeah, so if you guys have seen anything, can you trust Grok? I don't know. AI made up madness, you know what I mean? I think they guess at times. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. I don't think Jesus will go straight on the bench. They were his first minutes. I think they'll wait another week or two maybe before they throw him in. Hand of Arsenal posted about Jesus. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I was, just as we were going live, I spent about 10 minutes looking, like, can we get anything about the scoreline or whether Gyokeres played? But they're all being very coy. How did the game behind closed doors go? He just tweeted Gabriel Jesus celebrating a goal, which is obviously an old goal celebration. So people are obviously struggling to find out information on that. So yeah, I'm sure we'll find out once the lineup comes out. That's when we will find out. But yeah, a few of the people I follow who seem to know, they're not really saying anything. The headline news, by the way, from the Chelsea side of things is that Enzo Maresca has confirmed after a long layoff, Cole Palmer is back in the Chelsea squad. for this weekend. Cole Palmer returns after a long injury and is available to start versus the Arsenal this weekend. Cole Palmer is. I always feel like when a player's been out for a while, they always end up coming back when we're playing. You know, you just think, oh, guy's been out for about 6 or 7 weeks, and then he comes back when Arsenal play. But listen, we have to deal with him. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just looking through some of the training photos. I mean, I can't see Gyokeres in any training photos. But then again, if he did get minutes yesterday, he would probably not train today and maybe would be doing individual work. So he's obviously playing it close to his chest. But um, Cole Palmer is back for the Arsenal game, people. So listen, that adds to the quality in their team. Let's be real. He's their best attacking player, if we're being totally honest. But we need to deal with him. We know this is going to be a tough game, and this will only add to it. I was just looking through some of Chelsea's results this season because I feel like I've hardly taken notice of Chelsea because I just never saw them in the title race this year. It's like I haven't taken too much notice of them, if you know what I mean. They obviously lost 3-1 away at Bayern Munich. They lost to Manchester United at Old Trafford. That was the red card to the goalkeeper. They lost 3-1 at home to Brighton earlier in the season. Danny Welbeck. They lost 2-1 at home to Sunderland. Xhaka and them, man. Some of their better results, they beat Ajax 5-1, beat Tottenham, beat Liverpool, beat Forest 3-0 away from home, beat Benfica, and they battered West Ham. So they've had a real mixed bag of results in terms of performances. So how do we view that game going? I mean, when you look at the league table, and I'll show you shortly, like they are third top goal scorers in the league. Us and Manchester City on 24, Chelsea on 23, 12 games played, 7 wins, 2 draws, 3 defeats. They're a very random team, Chelsea. You kind of don't know what to expect from them. But they have got goals in them and they have got confidence at the moment. And confidence is a big factor in football. In any sport, to be honest, when you look at their last few results, you know, since losing to Sunderland on the 25th of October, they're unbeaten in all competition. They beat Wolves, beat Tottenham, drew with Karabag, beat Wolves again, beat Burnley, battered Barcelona, and now they've got us. So, but listen, I still think we're a better team than them, but we've got to deal with the circumstances. I think if you was to really pinpoint Arsenal this season, if you was cherry picking and nitpicking at everything, away from home at Liverpool, we were disappointing, didn't attack enough. Away from home at Sunderland, we end up dropping 2 points late on when we should have won that game. Newcastle, we rescued it with a last-minute goal. Big win, but it was very sort of on the ropes whether we were going to win that game or not. So if I was really picking out small details that Arsenal can improve on, you would maybe say the big away games, can we be a little bit more convincing? Man United away from home weren't great either. I felt United outplayed us at points in that game. It was a goalkeeping mistake. So I would still say we can improve our attack away from home against the better sides. Man United wasn't great. Liverpool wasn't great. Newcastle, we were quite good after conceding a bad goal. And Sunderland, we ended up giving up 2 points. So I think this is a massive game. And I do think it's a difficult game. But I think if we play well, we will beat them. If we drop our standards, then it can be a long afternoon. And we have got a fairly good record at the Bridge in recent years. Arteta, I think, is unbeaten at the Bridge, if I'm not mistaken. But we need a win. I wouldn't be happy with a draw. The fact that Manchester City have got Leeds at home, which I think is a definite 3 points, a draw and a win for Man City would get them 5 points behind us. So I think it's important we win. You know, it's important we win. It's a massive weekend. We got Villa away in a couple of weeks, which is a hard game as well. Aston Villa quietly are creeping up that table. You know, Emery's in good form at the moment. Aston Villa up to 4th after a slow start. So we got every game's a big game at the moment. You know, um, nothing is easy at the moment, you know. Big up to Mince of B. I don't know, but it's a Mince. We'll call you Mince. Big up Mince with a super sticker. And big up to Ben. Zubby dawdles on the ball, but is pivotal with his forward passing. Even though we started slowly by and we confidently built attacks on each flank, I knew we could grind their defence and pacey subs would make a difference. Zubimendi, just briefly, right? Because when you talk about Zubimendi, there's I don't know, is there a divide? I wouldn't say a divide, but people have different opinions on Zubimendi. I want to make it clear. I think Zubimendi has been a very good signing for Arsenal Football Club. Like, that 6 role is pivotal in any team that plays possession-based football. Pep, Rodri transformed that team. You know, Zubimendi, hopefully for us. Liverpool wanted him, blah, blah, blah. That player is so important in this team. He has made mistakes, and they have led to goals, let's be honest. The free kick at Liverpool, the free kick at Sunderland, the mistake against Tottenham. I will give him some leeway. He's come from Real Sociedad to Arsenal. That's a big step up. He's come from La Liga to Premier League. That's a totally different style of play. I do expect there to be teething problems. But he has struck up a fantastic partnership with Declan Rice. I think at times when he can get forward, some of his passing is top quality as well. So I think, yeah, a few little teething problems, but overall, I think he's been a very good signing, I'll be honest. Like, is he an upgrade on Partey? Always is the question. I think we have to understand they've got very different qualities. You know, Partey is 6 foot, he's built, he's defensive. You know, he breaks up play better than Zubimendi, but Zubimendi is very progressive, very good on the ball. And I think he's given Declan Rice that license to go, you go and become the player. You know, I don't think it's any coincidence we're seeing the best of Declan Rice since Zubimendi signed for the club. You know, whatever that means, the balance and that partnership and that chemistry, they've struck it from day one. You know, so I'm still very happy with Zubimendi. Yes, he needs to improve in 1 or 2 things. I think if you're playing, let's just say for example, this weekend against Chelsea, if you're up against the Kosh, you might need Rice to sit in with him and be a bit more of a double pivot, because Zubi is not amazing defensively. If someone like Cole Palmer's getting on the ball and making things happen, maybe you need Rice to drop in a little bit. But Zubi's a class player, and I think he'll improve as he adapts to the league, people. So I said it the other day on the show I did on AFTV with Stricto and Dan. I think Zubimendi's been our best signing this season, to be honest. If you look over the course of the 12 league games and the Champions League games, he's been the most consistent. You know, Hincapie and Mosquera haven't played that much. Eze, let's be real, pre-Tottenham game, we were like, we need to see a lot more. He's had his best week at the club. So I think I think Zubimendi's been fine. I think he'll improve as well. So I've got nothing to worry about in terms of Zubimendi. I think we've signed a top quality player there, people. And yeah, Partey, man, listen, at the end of the day, he had a season and a half where he just wasn't fit. And let's be real, people, like, let's just say it as it is, right? Because this channel, we don't run from you know, discussions and topics that are difficult to talk about. The reality of the situation is, if Thomas Partey doesn't have that court case hanging over his head, they probably extend his contract, right? Let's just say it as it is. Can you imagine having Zubimendi, Rice and Partey as squad depth? Would be ridiculous. They had to let him go because they couldn't afford, if that case blows up, for him to be contracted to Arsenal, and it looks like they've ignored the potential issue. That's the reality of the situation. Let's just say it how it is. Arsenal would have looked at that and gone, this brother's in court in the autumn. We can't give him a new contract, because if he ends up getting found guilty and the club have given him a new deal, they're ruined. They're ruined. If he doesn't have that case hanging over him, I'm sure they extend his contract by a year. at least and say, look, we'll keep you as squad depth for a year. You're that good a player. It would be that as a 3 would be unbelievable, to be honest. So, yeah, let's just be real with that. It was probably more than football that caused that situation. But do you know what? I'm gonna get into press conference reaction a little bit earlier because I was looking through it and the waffle looks it looks like a long waffle settings what I was looking at. Yeah, Norgard for me was I wouldn't have bought Norgard. I've said that before. I don't think he's a terrible player, but I don't think he's that good either. And like I said, with players like Douglas Luiz going on loan to Forest and Paulinho to Tottenham, they would have been far better signings, but it is what it is. We've got Brentford next week on Wednesday at home. I think Arsenal are going to have to use that game to rest players. You're going to have to take maybe 2 or 3 players out of the team. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into waffle settings. The controversy was unfortunate. Yeah, it was. It was, but it's sad reality, isn't it? It's that time, people. Mickey Rose, the boss. Rose. Coleman music. He is back. He looks a little bit stressed. Maybe he's been celebrating. The beard. It looks a bit rough. He's just seen Kimmich's video. He can't believe it. He said, we just beat Bayern Munich. I'm being criticised for long ball and set pieces. It is what it is, Mikel. Don't worry about Kimmich. He's hating. He can't believe we just smoked him. But, if we play... The thing I want to see is if we play Bayern Munich in the semi-final, let's smoke them then. You know what I mean? We might run into them again in a later stage of the tournament, and that's where you need to make sure, that we're ready. We're ready for action, people. We're ready for action. Let's go through the waffle. Get the syrup ready, people. The pre-match ones and the questions are usually dreadful. On Leandro Trossard's fitness, there's another test today. We have to see how he's feeling. It doesn't look much, so we still have a few hours and we'll have to see. It's the usual answer, innit? He's not going to tell us anything, to be honest. It sounds like it's not as bad as they thought, but will he be back for this week? Mate, I wouldn't risk him, but you never know. Depends what they're saying. If he's available this weekend, he said there's a potential chance. So it sounds like it's nothing major anyway, which is good news. On the behind closed doors friendly, he said it did happen. Gabby Jesus participated, Ethan Nwaneri as well, because he wanted some minutes. So we took the opportunity. They wanted a bit of exposure of competition, and to provide that to them, it was very positive. So you see the thing here, people. This is where I have a real problem. And listen, I don't know, maybe they're being told they can't ask these questions. Surely the next question, I mean, they're asking, are Gyokeres and Havertz available? Why did they not ask, did any other first team players feature in that game? Did Gyokeres feature in that game? Did Havertz feature in the game? You would imagine they probably didn't, because surely he would have said that they did, unless he's trying to, throw a curveball to Chelsea. But not a lot of information. They said on Gyokeres and Havertz availability, he said, we have another day tomorrow. Let's see how everybody is tomorrow, which basically means nothing. Mark said, big up, see, the Arteta press conference is a Waffle House. Next up, start trouble inside the Waffle House. Go get your wet wipes. Yeah, it's a Waffle House, bro, for real. We may end up skipping some of this. On the consistency we are showing, not that they surprise me, you have to be able to perform in the manner that they did individually throughout long periods against their opponent. That's very, very difficult. Here we go on Kimmich's comments after the Bayern match. I think the way both teams play, I think the way we played against PSG was very similar. When everything becomes man-to-man and the way they are with the fullbacks, the way we do it in terms of rotation, they create a game that has very long sequence of passes. I know what he's saying, so that's fine. It's part of the game. I think the game is provoked in the manner that both teams play, so it's very understandable. Do you know what? I kind of wanted him to throw shade at Kimmich. He's not going to, is he? He's going to be professional, but I wish he'd have said something like a little bit, throw a bit of shade on him, but I get it. He doesn't want to add fuel to the fire, so to speak, but Kimmich was moving like a crybaby, man. Oh, the set pieces and long ball. Well, defend them properly, mate. Why is Neuer 45 yards out of his goal. You know what I mean? At nearly 40 years of age. You know what I mean? On our record at Stamford Bridge, it's a big game, London Derby. We're going to play a really good opponent. They're in good form. We know the challenge. We know the opportunity we have on Sunday, 4:30. What a big game. On Chelsea's title credentials, I think we're all there. They are there because they fully deserve to be. We don't want to. I don't even want to talk about Chelsea. Like, hear what he's saying about Chelsea. I'm making a statement win. Those are the statements we are talking about. After beating Spurs at home, we have to make a statement against Bayern. We've done that, and now we have to go to the next one. On keeping a lid on expectations, we don't talk about lid or no lid. It's more than a lid, guys. It's more than a lid. We need to understand basically what we have to do to be better than the opponent. We have a chance to win. No lids, people. No lid. You don't like the lids. On Hincapie and Mosquera's form, they both have really good possibility to play. Pierro's played as a left back as well, which is another option that we have in relation to the opponent, to the state that the players are in. Miles as well is obviously a very good option that we have. Keep using everybody, making them feel connected. On Chelsea playing down their credentials, I don't know. That's a question for them. See, even he don't like that question. You can tell. On if this is the biggest game of the season, we always have the same question. I understand. For us it is because it's the next game. We live in the present and the best possible preparation. On Esteval's quality, I don't want to talk individually. When you look at the players they have, the squad that they have, the quality that they have in those forward areas is immense. On the young players relishing the pressure, I think that relies on the individual and the personality. Eyelids are getting heavy, guys. On Declan Rice winning the Ballon d'Or. Oh, did he win the Ballon d'Or? I never knew. They kept that quiet. He said, I hope so. That would mean that we have won a lot because normally it's related to that. I think he was immense the other day. He's been immense since the start of the season. He's an incredible, crucial player. Would a Champions League win put an Arsenal player in with a possibility of winning the Ballon d'Or? I don't think winning the Premier League wins you a Ballon d'Or. You know, Salah got 28 goals last year in a league. You don't get near the Ballon d'Or. I think to win the Ballon d'Or, you've got to win the World Cup or you've got to win the Champions League. If Arsenal won the Champions League, could Rice win the Ballon d'Or? I don't know. Yamming waffles, sipping syrup. Those lions turn into mice when they see Super Declan Rice. Soundtrack by Coman Music. Big up Elliot Roberts each and every time, man. You can't beat it. You just can't beat it. Yeah, the waffle setting in, people. On Gabriel's fitness, said not yet. I think he's evolving really well. He's turned into a Pokemon. We have to wait for that scan. I mean, how long? You telling me that Arsenal are still waiting for a scan that happened during the international break? I just don't believe it. I reckon they already know how long he's out for. On if he'll be back before the end of 2025, I don't know. We have to wait and see. On if Gabriel Jesus is ready for the first team, we have to see. He's been out 11 months. You need that progression. You need to see how his body reacts and what else he needs. The players we have available as well, it has to make sense to the right balance. It's a good thing. He's very, very close. On Mikel Merino's evolution as a striker, Pro Evolution Soccer, people. Adriano with 99 shot power. Obafemi Martins with 99 pace. Evolution. Even the journalists are using Mikel Arteta's words. We learnt that last season because that's when we have to play long periods without a 9. More than a 9, guys. More than a 9. He brings other things to the table. His intelligence, the way he competes, the way he masters a lot of things that are crucial for us. In any player, he's got them. Then he's a real threat. The other night, he could have scored 2. He was involved in many position positive actions. His work rate was unbelievable. It's unbelievable, guys. He never stops running, guys. The evolution is incredible. He's a Pokemon, guys. He's a Pokemon. On if a player's record versus a club is a factor in picking them in his team. Not necessarily. I think we look more at the state of the player. What happened 6 months ago is not relevant. I'm very happy with Gabby Martinelli. What he did the other night. He was superb. On Gyokeres and Havertz repeat scans, they are getting closer. We are very positive. Still not telling us nothing. On if Gyokeres will come straight into the first team lineup. Well, the good thing is that we now have found another option. We have 3 different options. That's a really good learning for all of us, especially for me. Still not telling us nothing. And if it leaves him with a point to prove when he returns, he said, I think it's very positive. We lost a player or 2 or 3. We lost at some point 6 players in the front line and the team continued to win. If Chelsea are the best attacking team in the league, he said the sample now, it's a bit early. It's difficult to say. This is really dragging. And what Jesus needs to do to be ready, it's what we see every single day, how he's reacting, the change he had in the load, and he needs to get into the chemistry of the team. On Gabby Jesus, building connections. Yes, well, it's always been one of Gabby's qualities. Oh, yes, it's over. On the mental boost a big win provides, it brings certainty, security, and really positive energy. He should be a rapper, this guy. Mickey Rolls, the boss. Every time you beat top opponents, when we did it in the derby, it helped to generate that momentum and belief for the next game. We did it against Bayern, now we have to carry that against Chelsea. It's just in the moment for the next day, we have to use it in the right way. Damn, that's tough. Honestly, it's like a detention, that, isn't it? Writing the same thing on the board over and over again. I mean, you learn nothing from that, do you? Like, I've literally bored you all for 5 minutes reading that, and we basically don't know anything. How long Gyokeres out for? We'll wait and see. How about Havertz? We'll wait and see. How about Gabriel Magalhaes? We're waiting for the scan. Trossard? There's still a few hours. Jesus? We're not sure. We learnt nothing. He said a lot, but we learnt nothing. Forever Gunner, we had some issues from long balls versus Bayern. Yeah, that ball from Kimmich to Gnabry splitters. Young MO, would you start Martin if Trossard is injured? I think we play Nani on the left wing instead and bring Martin 65 minutes so he can abuse his pace against the tired back line. I wouldn't start Odegaard because I want Eze to continue in that attacking midfield role. He's just had the best week since he's been at Arsenal, so I wouldn't be moving Eze to the left. Probably wouldn't risk Trossard, so you can either play Madueke or Martinelli. Martinelli's got a great record against Chelsea, but I wouldn't be playing Odegaard. He's got to wait his turn for me. How about your top three in the FPL league? Let's have a look at the FPL league and see who's top. It's certainly not me, guys. I think I'm in a relegation scrap. Who is top of the league in the FPL? I had a stinker last week, 40 points, which is a joke. Let's have a look at the top three. Fish and Chips FC, Kimani, top of the league, 829 points. Wayne Matty is second, 797 points. And Gershom is third, 797 points, joint second, actually. Yeah, we won't talk about where I am. Let's have a look at Kamani's team, Fish and Chips. Raya, he's got a back five. Munoz, Timber, Gahey, Cash, Van der Ven. Midfield three, Bruno Guimaraes, Rogers and Minter. Front two, Mateta and Haaland. Kimani running away with it, man. I'm certainly not winning that league. Big up Kimani, man. Running away with it. I'm just not good at these FPLs and things, man. I consider myself an expert of football. And then when I go on these things, nowhere near winning, man. I don't know what's going on. Joe, but other signings versus Zubi, I know I'd take good. Yeah, fair enough. Big up man like Latte, but Kimmich long ball to Gnabry led to a goal. Exactly. No, bro. The man's moaning that we were too direct, but he went direct and scored against us. It was like that was a 40, 50-yard pass. Is that not direct football? I ain't got time for it. 100k streams at 6 o'clock. Get involved, people. Get involved. We'll finally give away that Eze shirt. And Sheck said, no way we rest players v Brentford. Stop it, my bro. Brentford is a very good team. Where do we rest players would be my question to you, though, bro. If we can't rest a few players versus Brentford, who are 13th in the league, when are we going to wait to rest players? Because if I read the fixture list, we've got Chelsea, we've then got Brentford, we've then got Aston Villa away, we then got Club Brugge away, maybe you could say there, but maybe he wants to get qualification wrapped up. Wolves at home, 13th of December. I think Brentford at home, I'm not talking about major rotation, by the way. I'm talking about, could you play Norgard instead of Rice? Could you play Ben White instead of Timber? Could you play Noni Madueke instead of Saka? Could you bring in, I don't know, Mosquera instead of Saliba? I'm not talking about like 4 or 5 or 6 at the same time. I'm talking, you can't play Declan Rice every week for 90 minutes. He runs too much. There's got to be a point where you go, you need to chill, bro. 100k stream is at 6 o'clock, people. Get involved. and let's give away that Eze shirt and look at some old streams and just have a chat and just vibe for an hour. Let's have a look at the league table and then we'll build the team that we would pick for the game at Stamford Bridge and sort of have a little look at what Chelsea, the way they're lining up at the moment is a bit confusing. They played Barcelona with no striker. They played Neto up front in a false nine and just used him to high press because of his energy. I would imagine against Arsenal that Pedro or Delap would come back into the team. And they play with an orthodox number 9. I mean, just looking at it, Liverpool are out of the title race for me. 11 points, they're not coming back. They won't catch 11 points. They've lost too many games. They're down on page 2. I mean, they're 12th, right? 18 points, 4 defeats in their last 5. They're out of it. For me, it's Chelsea, Man City, and Arsenal now. I know a lot of people don't think Chelsea are going to win the league. I don't either, but they're there. You've got to acknowledge them. You've got to respect them. A lot of us don't think they are going to win it. I still think it will be Arsenal and Man City, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. Last season, a lot of people said Man City and Arsenal. Slots come in for Klopp. They only signed Chiesa. They're not quite, and they won the league. They strolled to the league. So there's nothing to say that Chelsea can't win the league. Stranger things have happened. If we beat Chelsea, maybe that's Chelsea out of it. 9 points they would be behind us. 4 defeats in their opening 13. You might be able to kick them out of it, and then maybe it ends up becoming in the next week or so Man City and Arsenal. Bear in mind that in the next 4 weeks, I think Man City have got Chelsea at the Etihad. So if they were to lose to us and lose to Man City, they'd be done. They'd be done by Christmas. So I agree. It's the game of the season. It's the game of the season so far because of Chelsea are in good form. Arsenal are in good form. It's 2 title challengers. It's at the Bridge as well, which makes it a more difficult game. I think there'll be a really good atmosphere. Cole Palmer's come back. You have got to watch this game. It doesn't matter if you're an Arsenal fan, Chelsea fan. You watch that game at 4:30 on Sunday. This is a big game. I don't think it will be a boring game. I think both teams will attack. I really do. As for Chelsea, for me, their weakness is their centre-backs and their goalkeeper. I don't think they're great from set pieces. You can hit them in transition. I remember watching that Sunderland game. Sunderland were rinsing them on the counter-attack. So this is where I think on that left-hand side, you're probably going to need Martinelli or Madueke for that pace if Trossard isn't fit. So, like I said, we were looking at their results earlier. They've lost to Brighton at home. Danny Welbeck and them, man, hit them on the break. They lost to Man United at Old Trafford, who hit them on the break. 5 at the back, then hit them on the break. Goalkeeper got sent off. So Chelsea's centre-backs, Fofana, Chalobah, and whoever else they pick, Badiashile and who else do they pick? What's the guy's name? Diassi, is it? Disassi? Yeah, I mean, I don't rate none of them. I'll be honest with you. I don't rate any of them. I wouldn't take any of Chelsea's centre-backs over ours. We're turning up with Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapie, and Mosquera. Wouldn't swap any of them. So I think you've got but they are aggressive. They've got strong, aggressive centre-backs who who do put pressure on you. Now, where's Chelsea's? To be fair, I did rate Fofana at Leicester. He's had 2 major knee injuries, so I don't think he's at the same level he was. I'll be honest, Chelsea's strength, if Palmer starts as well, it is their midfield. You are going to see a midfield battle in this game. Like, I'll be real. If you turn up with Caicedo, Enzo, and Palmer midfield 3, we have got to be at it. Zubimendi, Rice, Eze against those 3. That is one hell of a battle because, listen, make no mistake about it, Caicedo is some player. Like, he is some player. He has gone up a level from Brighton to Chelsea and he's taken it in his stride. He's a top player and he's aggressive and he gets about you as well. And him against Rice will be an unbelievable battle. Even though Rice, will he be up against him because he gets forward a bit more? Um, and listen, Reece James looks in good form. And Cucurella, Cucurella against Saka. So there's so many battles. Reece James actually played in midfield against Barcelona, and I think Gusto was at right back. So there's good battles there, and all over the pitch, all over the pitch. We need to keep them out. Because like I said, we've scored 24, they've scored 23. So there's a lot of goals in both sides. So it's going to be an interesting battle. And I am looking forward to it. A little bit nervous about it, but I am looking forward to it. Watch Cole Palmer. I mean, I don't know if this sounds very simplistic, but he's just come back from a broken foot. I feel like somebody should just be stamping on that foot from a corner. I know it sounds a bit old school, people, and it's got a Sunday league thing about it, but just on a corner. Oh, sorry, mate. You know what I mean? You don't do it where you like stamp and get sent off. Just a little. All right, that's a good point, right? I was just about to do to pick our Arsenal team, but we're going to do two things and then we'll begin to round up, right? We're going to do an Arsenal team and we're going to do a combined 11, right? We're going to do a combined 11 because I've seen a lot of people doing combined 11. So we'll do a combined 11, Chelsea and Arsenal, right? So get involved in the comments and let me know what you guys think because I've seen a lot of people doing these. I've been very biased with them as well. We're only going to go off who's available. Or should we just go off everybody? But then you would include Gabriel, wouldn't you? We'll go off who's available. Right? So get in the comments with me. Goalkeeper, come on. I don't think there's any. I don't rate Sanchez. He's improved, but I don't rate him. So we'll go with David Raya in goal, back-to-back Golden Gloves. He's going to get it for the third time this year. Two centre-backs. I think, like I said, I'm not downplaying Fofana because I do think he's a talented player. But I'm taking Hincapie and I'm taking Saliba. Obviously, Gabriel would be there if he was fit. I think we've got two better centre-backs than them. It's an invincible in Germany, and Saliba might be the best centre-back in the Prem, the way Van Dijk's playing. I always put Van Dijk ahead of him, but the way Van Dijk's playing basketball now, you know what I mean? Throwing up alley-oops in the Champions League. It's mad. Fullback. Let's start with left back because this is the one that I've seen a lot online, right? I think Cucurella has improved a lot, by the way, but I still don't think I would take him. I still think I'd take Calafiori. Am I being overly biased here, people? Would you take Cucurella over Calafiori? I wouldn't. I genuinely wouldn't. He scores goals, and I think he's getting better and better. Italian defender. I think he's class. But am I being biased? I'm taking Calafiori. I'm sorry. We've come a long way in the last 6 months. I didn't rate him last season. I'm still not a massive Cucurella fan. He has that. Do you know what? That's the only thing, man. Like, he's locked up some big attack. I've seen him lock up Saka as well. But oh man, that one is tough. I'm not even lying here. This one is tough. You guys let me know. Let's go off the comments. I think Calafiori's been the best left back in the Prem this season. Now I'm going Calafiori because we're going off current form. I'm going with him. He bullied it. Yeah, Elise, he didn't do nothing against him. Who else did we play? We played Liverpool. Salah didn't do anything. I'm going Calafiori. I don't like Cucurella either. He just winds me up. Right back, I'm sorry, Chelsea. We're not in a time machine. They got to let go of that Reece James hype. He's still a good player, but come on. I'm picking the Italian defender at left back. I'm giving us the whole back five. I'm sorry. You can debate possibly Cucurella, Calafiori. I don't think any of the others are a question. Like Reece James, yeah, maybe 5 years ago, not now, mate. Timber's number one. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna get interesting. Right, okay. Midfield 3. Oh, I don't like this already because I'm going to have... There's a couple of Chelsea players. I'm going to struggle to keep them out of midfield, right? Like, let's be totally honest, right? Declan Rice, Caicedo. Oh, man. This is horrible. Because realistically, right, I feel like Cole Palmer's got to be in the team somewhere. He obviously can't play. All right, do you know what? I'm going to force this. Because Eze's got to be in this team. I don't care. I'm putting him in the team. He just scored a hat-trick against Tottenham, right? We'll move Bukayo. We'll move Bukayo so that we can get them all in. Any arguments with this? It's a bit shameless, but it's just to get everyone in the team. I know I said form and Palmer ain't played for 8 weeks, but let's be real. I've seen Palmer in Club World Cup bagging goals against PSG. I've got to get him in the team. I think that's the best team, but I'm doing Saka dirty there. But someone's got to. All right, do you know what? In fact, you know the better way to mix it, to not actually to get players in their better position would actually be play Eze on the left, which he has played there for us. Play Eze on the left, put Palmer in the 10, which is where he sort of plays now, and then put Saka on the right, so Saka's not doing the dirty work. I reckon we do that. I reckon that makes more sense. I can't put Saka on the left. Yeah, Esteval, come on, man. Wait your turn, bro. Wait your turn. Recent form, it should be Esteval, Trossard, Marino. Maybe. I think that's the way. How many Chelsea players? Wow, I've only given them 2. 2 Chelsea players. Listen, people, I don't know. Have you got any arguments? Should there be another Chelsea player in there? People are saying Cucurella, but I'm going with the Italian stallion Rocky Balboa Calafiori. I've given Cole Palmer and Caicedo. I think that's fair, man. Esteval over Saka. Nah, man, we're top. Champions League, we're top. So we're the better team. I've given 2 players. I wasn't hearing much about Esteval until that Barcelona game. To be honest, I wasn't hearing much. Then I heard Neymar comparisons after that game. James Esteval, Cucurella at least bro, Reece James, no chance. Not in 2025, bro. That's like a Tamagotchi or a BlackBerry Messenger. It's like, you know what I mean? A Sony Walkman. Nah. Back in the day, cool, not now. Anyway, we'll leave that there. Yeah, if we lose, it's not good. Like Pro F2 said, I'm coming back to this combined 11. If we lose, I'm leaving with something. João Pedro up front? Nah, man. Not for me. Looked good in pre-season, not the same. Anyway, we'll go with that. Timber's been the best right back in the world this season. Yeah, there's no debate with that one. That one's clear. That one's clear. Anyway, let's figure out the Arsenal team for this weekend. Let me leave. Let's get rid of these Chelsea boys. And well, we're gonna have. I reckon that back 5 would be my back 5 anyway. So we'll leave that there. Zubimendi. Declan Rice. Ebericheze. They got a serious midfield battle. Oh, realistically, Gyokeres, even if he's back, he ain't fully fit. Marino's going to keep the shirt. Saka on the right. Who would you guys play on the left? For me, I probably wouldn't risk Trossard. I'm just looking through the training pictures. He's nowhere to be seen, so I don't see why you would need to risk him. He's a good player. If he's fit, bench him. I would play Martinelli personally. I don't love Noni playing on the left. And Martinelli's got a good record against Chelsea, so I would go with that. That would be my Arsenal team this weekend, people. I would save Noni for the impact off the bench again. I would go with that. Nelly's just come on, scored. I know Noni scored and came on, but Noni looked a lot better on the right for me. I get what you're saying. Madwake's going to have a point to prove, against his former club, but I just think Martinelli, give us that balance, right footer on the left, cutting inside, pace, direct, good record against Chelsea as well. I would go with Martinelli. Maybe you take him off later in the game, and that's when I bring Noni on for maybe the last 25 minutes, fresh legs. And, you know, the finishers off the bench, people. Listen, I keep saying it, like, I know it's a discussion that people don't like. I still want more from Saka. I still want more. Like, you know, star boy, and I think he's playing okay, by the way. I don't think he's playing bad. And maybe he's still not at his sharpest on the back of a torn hamstring and a pulled hamstring, but I need to see more. You know, like I said, when Alexis was at Arsenal, if you went to an Arsenal game or watched an Arsenal game on the TV, you came away from that game going, yeah, he's better than anybody else. He's the best player in that team. Van Persie the same, Fabregas the same, Aubameyang the same. You know, when you watch Arsenal at the moment, Saka kind of blends in with the other attackers. Like, is he performing at a higher level than Trossard? Or, you know, I think he's playing within him. And I know a lot of people always say, oh, he's doubled up on, but Lamine Yamal gets doubled up on. Ian Robben used to get doubled up on. Gareth Bale. You know what I mean? I'm not even talking about Messi and Ronaldo. They're on a whole different planet. But if you want to talk to me about the best wingers over the last 10 years, I guarantee they were getting doubled up on, all of them. Salah, Mahrez, Alexis, Hazard, two players. It just meant two of you were getting dealt with. You know what I mean? I'll deal with both of you. So the doubled up thing, you know, even man like Wilfried Zaha used to twist up two players. I know Saka's game is not really based on skill as much. It's pace, power, game intelligence, decision making. You know, I'm not saying I want him dropped, but I'm saying I like the fact that he came off the other day with 25 minutes to go. Has he lost a bit of that explosiveness? I don't think he looks as quick. Saka, he's very strong. I always talk about his strength, how he can hold people off. I actually don't think he's that fast anymore. He wasn't lightning quick anyway. But that sort of burst of pace to get past people, maybe he needs time. Maybe he needs some time. He needs managing, you know. Trossard was doubled up on in the North London derby and still performed. Saka's as fast as Trossard. Yeah, it doesn't look as quick, does he? Arteta will bring the captain back Sunday. I'll be honest, I'd be disappointed if Odegaard starts and he puts Eze on the left. I would just be fuming, to be honest. I'd be fuming. Saka always picks it up by mid-year. Yeah, hopefully. No more international breaks till March as well, so. Let me read out these super chats before we round up. I think Odegaard had his best game since 23-24 before the injury. Yeah, he had a bad season though last season. He improved as the season went on at the end, but after that ankle injury, his form fell off a cliff. Curtis, who is a better manager, Amorim or Arteta? If the reality of the situation, I always say this, is you are as good as what is on your CV. Amorim is a title winner in a weak league, but he's a title winner. If Arteta wins the Premier League, he becomes a better manager than him, in my opinion. So I'm not saying I want Amorim, by the way, because I don't think he's that good. I'm just saying the hard truth and reality is one's a title winner, one's an FA Cup winner. Until the FA Cup winner wins a title, that's just the reality, right? It's like saying you've got 1 million, you've got 2 million, who's richer? The guy with 2 million, you know? Listen, that's the cold, hard reality, though, Nico. I know you don't like that logic, but I think Arteta is. I wouldn't swap Arteta for Amorim. And at the moment, of course, he's the better manager. We're top, and they're wherever they are, 10th or whatever. But if his CV has got a title on it and his has got an FA Cup on it, that's the reality of the situation. Gerrard's better than Klopp because he has 2 titles. No, because Klopp's got a Champions League, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying Amorim's better, but I'm saying he's a title winner. Amorim won titles with little money. Yeah, and I think Sporting Lisbon don't have the money of Benfica and Porto. Listen, right now, in form, Arteta is the better manager, of course. We're top of the league. We're playing great football. We look like we're going to win trophies. But you have to win trophies. That's the reality. People hate that conversation. Nobody would swap Arteta for Amorim. So right now, Arteta's a better manager than Amorim. We know that. It's clear as day with the football we're playing. But what I keep reiterating is Arteta's got to put trophies on the CV. He's got to put trophies on the CV, people. You know what I mean? Facts don't care about opinions, is what I'm saying. Listen, you might think so. You might think so. I get it. People will look and go, "Nah, Amorim's trash. Arteta's a great manager." I hear that logic. I'm not oblivious to the fact that Arteta is currently a far better manager than Amorim with what he's doing at Arsenal. But what I'm saying is Arteta needs trophies to solidify it factually. You know what I mean? Factually, you need trophies. Klopp won 2 titles in Germany and 1 in England. He still has more than Gerrard. Yeah. And a Champions League. And a Champions League. Amorim is not trash. Surely Arteta is a better manager. Yeah. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with anybody, by the way. I'm not disagreeing with anybody that Arteta is clearly a better manager than Amorim. All I'm trying to reiterate is you need to win a trophy, a major, to be able to fully say you're better than somebody. If Arteta doesn't win a trophy this year, is he still a better manager than Amorim? Like, the trophy is what is going to solidify that opinion. That's what I'm saying. Snake Eyes, it was a 10-man Barca. Chelsea is not good defensively. Their goalkeeper is horrible. We have a good record there, good attack and midfield. I think this will be a harder game than the previous years, just because they're in form as well. Another hat-trick incoming for Eze, says Farhan. We'd love another hat-trick. Yeah, do you know what, last time? I probably worded it wrong. I would say Arteta's the better manager, but Amorim's more successful. You've probably worded it better, you know? You've probably worded it better. Amorim's more successful, but success is what you need, you know? But yeah, I would say right now Arteta's the better manager. Sheck said, can you take a draw? That will be an 8-point lead. That will be 8 points from Man City and Chelsea. Chelsea has to play Man City and Newcastle. Well, it depends what happens to the Man City game, though, because if they beat Leeds and we beat Chelsea, I think it's still 7, right? Yeah, I think that's the people were on me there, you know. They were like, why is Di Matteo better than Wenger then? Yeah, that's the right way. Arteta's the better manager. Amorim's more successful. But I don't rate Amorim, to be honest. That 3 at the back I just don't think works for them. Ben says Rare, Calafiori, Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, Palmer, Caicedo, Rice, Eze, João Pedro, Gyokeres. 4-4-2. 4-4-2. I'd love to see 4-4-2 come back, by the way, you know. Big up Wamru's gifted 5 memberships to the community. Big up, man. Big up to the 5 new members. AMSN, yeah, 100% agree, Kurt. It's more successful, but not better. Yeah, I worded it the wrong way. The community were going mad at me in the comments. How dare you say Amorim's better? Yeah, no, it's successful, but not better. I don't think Amorim will do anything major at Man United. You know, you wouldn't be surprised if Amorim got sacked in the next year. And big up to Rigo, said Arsenal played the better FCB. Arsenal beat Bayern. Can't wait for Sunday. I think we had a harder game than Chelsea. Chelsea beat a 10-man Barca that were defending on the halfway line, even when they were down to 10 men. We played a very good Bayern Munich team. We all sat here at half time and went, this is a tough game. Like, this could go either way. I couldn't believe how much possession Bayern were having. But in the end, it kind of worked out in favour, you know. Listen, people, I'm going to round up there. Big up to everyone locked in, 2,000 of you. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I will be back at 6 o'clock, 100K stream. We finally got there. We'll give away that Eze shirt, and then we'll do the watch-along on Sunday. Big up to everyone. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you all, hopefully, at 6 o'clock.